Hello and welcome open-minded and unchained viewers as we go through the colored lens to view the madness of the other side. I am your host, Mr. Enigma, and today we'll be asking the question, what if you were supposed to hate Cory Holcomb? Cory Holcomb is a YouTuber, a black comedian, and an observational savage who has survived and thrived on these YouTube streets, dropping comedy bombs and spouting truth nukes wherever he goes. He is loud, large, funny, unapologetic, and worst of all, honest. In a world where many women walk outside covered in lies, weaves, fake eyelashes, nose jobs, lip filler, fake nails, fake breasts, fake butts, tummy tucks, rib removal, liposuction, and high heels, and many men only believe in money, sport, power, and sex, comedians like Dave Chappelle, Cat Williams, Bill Burr, Patrice O'Neal, and Corey Holcomb are a vital part of society. Comedians, in order to be funny, generally have to be hyperactively observational in order to hit us with truths or opinions that we might never think about or might be too scared to say out loud. Love them or hate them, comedy allows them to provide a defense against the misinformation, propaganda, and mental enslavement that is purposely being spread throughout the world. It allows them to be the warriors against the war on freedom of thought. And don't get it twisted, the powers that be definitely don't love them. A while back, they tried to get Dave Chappelle. They messed with his money, called him a crackhead, attacked his mental health, whilst also trying to make him look outwardly cooked. He dipped to Africa to get away. He came back even stronger. They pivoted towards Cat Williams aggressively. He was arrested 5 times in 5 cities in 1 week for nothing. They tried to mess with his credibility, called him unstable, tried to mess with his kids. He eventually retired from the stress, but he came back much stronger. Bill Burr has the complexion that gives protection, but don't be shifted, this man is not playing. He is out there smashing down thought blockades and propaganda obstacles with great anger and furious vengeance. He is getting stronger. Patrice O'Neal, much like Cory Holcomb, was a large, tall, black, hilarious truth talker who used his intuitive insight to create honest comedy earthquakes that shook listeners with laughter, shock, or anger. Unapologetic, he refused to compromise his free speech for money, so, although talented enough to be offered opportunities at first, Hollywood would not work with him unless he toned himself down, and he died without achieving his dream, but stayed free and satisfied that he did not sell his soul. However, even as hated as he was, he received a huge outpouring of sorrow from comedians and celebrities denoting his unworldly strength, though some of those only acknowledged his greatness after his early, earthly departure. Then there is Cory Holcomb. While 3 of the 4 found a way to make their messages uncomfortably acceptable, Cory just said, "Darlene, switch seats." Patrice O'Neal once said, "It's about funny. Good jokes and bad jokes come from the same place. It's not about the outcome. It's about being allowed to make the attempt, and like Patrice, Cory is unafraid to make the attempt. The problem is, just like Patrice, he is a black man. Now, while you might think I'm using victim mentality,
You're a victim.
the black men I mentioned above were persecuted and vilified between media and government officials for speaking their truth. Kevin Hart lost out on the Oscars for tweets that were about 10 years old, but not being like the other guys and clearly wanting the bag, he threw on the dress, kissed The Rock, and showed he clearly no longer wanted any smoke. Unlike Kevin, the extremely funny comedians, Bernie Mac and Paul Mooney, were sidelined, low-balled, downplayed, and ostracized for speaking as honestly as they did. However, white men such as Ricky Gervais not only can say whatever they want and make enormous money for doing so, they can get booked, back-to-back, to high-level celebrity events while performing the very same material black men get canceled for. At this point, there is probably someone or some people accusing me of being racist for pointing out the racism, but that's just the pre-written script used to keep black people silent and controlled. Blame the victim, the actual victim, not the accuser, not the pretender, not the liar, but the actual victim, the one that there is evidence for, proof for, that this systemic control has and is happening to. Blame that person. To those people, I have no verbal response, just silence and sorrow for their imposed and alleged stupidity. A few seconds, please. Moving on. In a world where fake reality TV is pushed, where fake bodies are pushed, where fake agendas are pushed, and where people are openly mass deleting other people, somehow you will be persecuted or punished for saying the truth about what you see. It is because of this that someone like Cory Holcomb should not be considered your enemy. In a world where few heroes exist, Cory Holcomb should be celebrated and protected, because just like most black men who tell the truth, It is only so long before his life is sacrificed or deleted. Rest in power to those who are gone, and be at peace to the ones who live on. Let us remember those who tried to tell the truth, and let's do better for those still trying to get that truth out. If you like what you heard, please like, share, subscribe, and press the hype button. Press all the buttons, and I'll see you on the next one.
I'm looking where you're